Hi everybody, it's Wednesday. This month we have a theme, a Beauty and the Beast theme. Because Beauty and the Beast is both of our favorite Disney movies, so it's about time that we had a whole month of just Beauty and the Beast videos. While Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie, I've also seen the Broadway musical 4 times throughout my entire life. Twice alone while it was on Broadway in the 90s when I was a tiny babe. If you watched our Newlywed Game, you know that I love the musical soundtrack. Although I will admit that I'm more familiar with the original Broadway soundtrack than the, I guess, newer lineup of songs. Well, now it's the 25th anniversary of the movie and the live action movie is coming out next March. One thing that I didn't really care one way or the other about until somebody else made a big deal of it was whether or not the music from the musical was gonna be in this movie. It wasn't an issue for me because I recognize that the soundtracks for the movie and the musical are different because of their forms of media. So I wasn't concerned with the other songs even when I heard that new music was being written. And so in sort of a response, but mostly to showcase the brilliance of the songs from the musical, I'm going to talk about my top 5 Beauty and the Beast musical songs. Number 1 is called Home, and it's sung by Belle and only Belle. This song comes right after the Beast has demanded that Belle join him for dinner, and she's really upset. I mean, justifiably, she's lost everything she's ever known. In the original version of the song, she just wishes that she could go back to the life that she had, even though she knows that won't solve her problems. In the newer version, she talks about how ironic it is that she had previously just wished to get out of the life she just had, and this is what she's got. She sings about home is where the heart is and that her heart is very, very far from this castle. I really love this song not only because on the soundtrack it showcases Susan Egan's singing abilities, but also because it's just another way for us to get to see inside Belle's head. I would listen to it if I were you.
You're never strange.
Don't ever change.
You're all I've got. No matter what.
Number 2 is a song called No Matter What, and it's sung between Belle and Maurice. This is one of the songs that was on the original soundtrack, and now it's not. It was replaced with another song when Toni Braxton was Belle. I'm not exactly sure why it changed then, but it did. The lack of this song really upsets me. This song happens right after Belle, and it's when Belle goes to talk to Maurice about how odd their family is and why everybody in the town thinks she's weird. He tells her that she's not weird and that everybody else in the town just wants to conform. It's a really sweet song that turns a short scene full of dialogue into a sentimental duet between father and daughter as they validate each other's existence because the people in the town have made it necessary to do so. Now, instead of No Matter What, there's a song called A Change in Me that happens at the end of the musical. I really don't like this song. It's about all of these changes that have happened to Belle's character throughout the musical, and she's just like, Papa, look, I'm different. But in my interpretation and Sarah's interpretation of the movie, Belle is not the one that changes. I mean, Belle obviously has some like perspective changes, but her character stays the same pretty much throughout the whole movie. It's the Beast that changes, and so if anybody is gonna sing this song, it should be him.
All roads lead to the best things in life are all's well that ends with me.
Number 3 is a Gaston solo mostly, but Belle is there reacting. It's called Me. Short, sweet, and to the point with Gaston. Okay, so this song is basically about sexual harassment. And that's not a joke. This is that scene where Gaston just barges into Belle's house and proposes to her, and she diverts everything that he says and then kicks him out. The choreography in the show involves a lot of Gaston like tossing Belle around, I think because he thinks he's in control of the conversation. He literally tells her that women have few uses, but one of the most prevalent is to extend the family tree, because Gaston is the worst. So yeah, usually musical numbers are used when a character can't express themselves with words alone, but this song is literally just put there to have this scene be a musical number, and I actually really like it. I think it works really well. I think the choreography really helps make it work. I think that it really reinstates for the audience that like Belle does not belong with Gaston. That is just not an option, and that Gaston is really terrible.
I'll wear lipstick and rouge, and I won't be so huge. Why, I'll easily fit through that door. I'll exude savoir-faire. I'll wear gowns, I'll have hair. It's my prayer to be human again.
Number 4 is Human Again, which features Mrs. Potts, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Chip, Madame de la Grande Bouche, and other inanimate objects. Fight me on this. I know that this song is in the movie now, but I don't care. This is my list. This song was originally written for the movie. It just didn't make it in because of time constraints mostly. Human Again was put back into the movie in 2002 when it was re-released in IMAX, and it's really cool because they brought back the entire original cast and animated a whole new musical sequence just for the movie. And it's really cool that they did that in 2002 because Jerry Orbach, the voice of Lumiere, passed away in 2004. This song is just so hopeful. All of these people have been living without personhood for 10 years according to Lumiere because their boss basically did some bad stuff to an enchantress and then she decided to punish everyone. Human Again is their time to shine and talk about their feelings. It's a whole song of character development for secondary characters that we don't necessarily get in the original theatrical version. Also, Madame de la Grande Bouche has her own little feature in this song and she is my favorite of the animate objects. She's the wardrobe. She's going to be played by Audra McDonald in the live action version, which I am a little apprehensive about, but also excited because I love Audra McDonald. In the musical, Madame de la Grande Bouche has this whole big backstory where she was an opera diva before she was cursed to be a wardrobe. I don't know how she became a servant of the beast, but it happened. She's there. I know that a lot of people don't like this song, but I just don't agree. A lot of people feel like it makes the movie too long or it doesn't fit in the rest of the movie. I've watched the movie without it. It feels like something is missing. And regardless of the movie, it's one of the staples of the musical. And I love that.
If I can't love her, let the world be done with me.
Finally, number 5 is If I Can't Love Her, because the Beast has solos. If I Can't Love Her is especially sad and heart-wrenching because they get it in right before the intermission, so you have to sit for the next 15 minutes with your broken heart and just wonder what's gonna happen next, even though you already know because you've probably seen the movie. Honestly though, this song just really tears me up. The Beast just feels so helpless and that no one will ever love him because he's hideous and he's monstrous and he's been a beast for so long that no matter how nice and human he tries to be, he sometimes just loses control of himself. That doesn't necessarily excuse the weird touching that goes on in this musical, where the Beast just gets way too close to Belle. I understand that it's the theater and things are going to be different than the movie, but the movie did not at all rely on the Beast like hurting Belle. It kind of goes there in the musical, and there's no excusing that. At the very least, the Beast with this song and his 2 other solos is realizing that he's being a jerk, that he is doing things wrong, he doesn't know how to act, but he's trying, I guess? But in any case, this song serves to remind the audience what's really at stake. Not only the Beast's humanity, but the lives of his servants. He's full of regret and self-loathing, and the only way for him to really express that is through a song, and that really hurts. It's a nice power ballad, though. So that's it. Those are my top 5 favorite songs that are in the Broadway musical and not necessarily in the movie, except for Human Again. I will make that admittance. I don't care. Thank you so much for watching this video as usual. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to The Princess and the Scrivener, please do so down below, especially if you want to keep watching our Beauty and the Beast month videos, as well as other videos on Disney, feminism, pop culture critiques, and film. One or both of us will see you next week. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. This is that scene where Gaston just barges into Belges. I'm evaluating my life choices.